Hey YouTube, this is Valerie with Money Mindset Coach. I talk about frugal things, I talk about saving money, spending money, and living a great life on less money, because money isn't everything. My thing for today, my subject, is style secrets that I learned from my mother. Now, there's a few things that my mother really thought was the way it had to be. And in 2024, it's not like that anymore. Things have changed. But let me tell you about the things that I think my mother was right about and that I still go by myself all these years later. Basically, my mom believed in having 4 pairs of pants, or at least 4 different colors: white, black, beige, and navy blue. If you have those 4 colors as the bottom part, whether it's a skirt, pants, whatever, if you have that, pretty much every color is going to go. I mean, say for instance you use pink. Pink is going to go with white, it's going to go with black, it's going to go with beige, and it will go with navy blue. It goes with everything. My mother was a very, very strict believer in color coordination. She really, really hated it when things were not color coordinated. When we came to the table, the breakfast table in the morning, what we were wearing had to go together. It had to. Or she would tell you, go back and change. It couldn't be wrinkled. Could not be wrinkled, could not have a tear, could not have a stain. Those were just things you didn't walk out the door with that. Nowadays, we have jeans that have rips in them, which my mother would have had a fit about. She wouldn't have liked that at all. But basically, most colors can go with those 4 pair of pants. There's a big thing that she had with tops that had tails or that were straight across, like this one is straight across. Well, if it had tails, it had to be tucked. If it didn't have tails, you didn't have to tuck it. That was her rule. And I actually think that that's a really good rule. The style that we have right now, where half of it hangs out and the other half is tucked, you're never going to convince me of that. To me, that looks sloppy. It looks like you don't realize that you're half tucked. That just doesn't go for me. And it wouldn't have gone for my mom. And in that way, I agree with her. My mother, when she would leave the house, she would say, got to put my face on. Well, she wasn't big into makeup. She didn't wear eyeshadow or mascara or anything. She didn't even wear foundation. Lipstick was the only thing. And red was the only color. So she had to go into the bathroom, put her lipstick on, and then she'd walk out the door. But she would not walk out the door without it. But she always looked put together. She always looked color coordinated, even when she was at home. I'm trying to think, but it was later in life, probably in her 50s before she would wear jeans. It took a long time for her to wear jeans. And when I was growing up, before they had the zipper down the front, because we all know men have pants like that for a reason, my mother really kind of had a fit when zippers started being like that for women. Because up until then, if a woman was wearing a pair of pants, it was elastic waist, it was zipper on the side, or zipper in the back. You didn't have a zipper in the front, like you had a fly. because we all know women don't need that. So she didn't like that. She didn't like that when pants kind of changed. But she, found out that after a while, when something changes like that, you go into the store, you're not going to find them any other way. You're not going to find a zipper in the back or a zipper on the side anymore. You're just not going to find it. So she adjusted to that. She never did like it, but she adjusted to it. But she cared about herself. And back in the 50s, 60s, and 70s, her mind, it's like the way she felt is you look good for your husband. Back then, and even 40s, 30s, 20s, I guess way, way back then, women were at home. And when the husband came home, they tried to look their best. They didn't look like they'd been scrubbing toilets all day. They tried to look nice. They tried to have dinner on the table. That was really a lot of how my mom was and what I remember growing up. Because she was a nurse and she tried to work after she gave birth to me. But it was just too hard because I was the third child. It was just not working. So from then on, it was pretty much my dad that was working until all of us were raised and out of the house. And then there were some other things that my mom and dad did together. But I remember as a hairdresser, I had a client that came in, and she was a beautiful woman. Absolutely beautiful. I loved it when she came in because she was so much fun to talk to, and I almost hated to get done cutting her hair because I always had such a great time talking to her, and I cut her hair for years. And I remember one time, and this was before I ever got married. I had not met my husband yet. And it was interesting because we got to talking, and she said, it was near the end of the day, and she said, "Oh, I'm going home." Somehow we got on the subject of her husband, and she said, "Oh, yeah." She said, "Every day, I change clothes about a half hour before he gets home, and I, freshen up my makeup, freshen up my hair, maybe put a little perfume on." But she did that for her husband. And she made dinner. She had dinner going. And that was kind of their thing. But I have to say, I was reminded of something today. And this is a real person that I met. I did not know her, but I knew her daughter. I worked with her daughter. And she talked about her mother, who at that point in time had been married 20 years. No, probably 25. 25. She got up an hour before her husband. She'd been doing this for all these years. She got up an hour before, did her hair, did her makeup, then she got back into bed. So when he woke up, the hair and the makeup was done. He never saw her. She went to bed with the makeup on. Once he was asleep, she would get up and go take it off. Have any of you ever known anybody to do that? It's crazy. I couldn't have done, I would have maybe done it for a little while, but I couldn't have kept it up for 25 years. It's kind of crazy, but this woman did it. True story. And at the store today where I work, there was a woman that came in and started talking about somebody that she knew that did that. And I had totally forgotten about this woman because that was like back in the 80s. It was a really long time ago. So I had totally forgotten about her. So anyway, crazy, crazy story. Crazy, but true. Yeah, basically, we've gotten to the point with relationships where we don't need each other anymore. There are plenty of women out there that are making more money than their husbands. not unusual at all. In the 2021 census, 30.6% of women made more than their husbands. 36% of men had a college degree. 39% of women. So more women that year got college degrees than men did. That's really something. And, now and I don't get political here, but we all know by the time of this video that Kamala Harris is running for president, that Joe Biden has stepped down. The election is in November. This is July. We have plenty of time. But we have another woman running for president. And that is amazing when you think of the fact that 100 years ago, women didn't have the right to vote. The men decided everything. And now we have a woman who might become president, which it's going to be historic in so many ways. But I'm not talking about who I'm voting for or anything or issues. I'm not talking about that. All I'm talking about is the fact that there is a woman running for president. And that's a good thing, I think. So the one thing that I think I remember that my mother felt very strongly about when it came to fashion was no white after Labor Day. And I think the first time that we could wear white, like white dressy shoes to wear to church or whatever, I think it was Easter. Yeah, you couldn't wear anything like that before Easter. I remember that now. And now it's like, I'm sorry, we can carry a white purse, we can wear white, we can have white shoes anytime. That rule really does not apply, and it hasn't applied for quite a while. And I think my mom even gave up on it. I don't think she thought anything about it. But that was very big. Very big when I was growing up. You only had a certain amount of time to wear white. And I always felt sad after Labor Day, I had my really nice Sunday shoes that were white, but I couldn't wear them. And, being young, by the time it came around again to white shoes, you're a growing kid. It's not going to fit you anymore. It's kind of sad. But anyway, that is just some thoughts of my style secrets that my mother taught me, that a lot of them I still go by. And thank you so much for joining me today. If you've never been here before, thank you so much. If you're coming back, thank you for coming back. Comment, thumbs up, subscribe, share, whatever. Because when you do that, the algorithm with YouTube gets those videos out to other people, which, it does help me. It does help me. It helps the channel. It helps me. And so I would so appreciate if you would do that. But what did you learn from your mother as far as style secrets? Are there things that I didn't mention? Are there things you do that you learned from your mom that I didn't do? I don't do. I would love to hear in the comments. So please comment. I'd be very, very happy. So anyway, like I say every time, use it up, wear it out, make it do without. Till next time. Bye.